So in today's video, we are going to be talking about grown-up vanillas. If you're interested, then just keep watching. Before we get into this video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Aisha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So many of you all have reached out in other videos of mine and you say that you're not really a fan of vanilla, you haven't found that vanilla fragrance that you like yet, and overall, you're just not checking for vanilla. Well, I am a vanilla lover, so I feel it is my duty to convince you to like vanilla. I'm just kidding, but honestly, I feel like most people that say they don't like vanilla are thinking about cupcakey, sweet, possibly juvenile vanillas. So this video is going to include nothing but grown-up vanillas. Now, when I say grown-up for the purpose of this video, it's not just like you need to be over a certain age to wear these. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that these are like grown-up, adult, mature, not in a bad way sense. So if you think you don't like vanilla, then check out these fragrances and maybe you might find one that you enjoy. So let's go ahead and get into them. So first up, we're gonna start with the Queen Bee, and this is Guerlain Spiritueux Double Vanille. So this is a newer one to my collection. However, this is not a new fragrance. This one is loved by so many, and now that I have it, I can see that it's for good reason. So this is a basic vanilla, and when I say basic, I don't mean in a bad way. I don't mean that this is simple. I just mean that this is mainly about the vanilla. But the way that this vanilla is done is so good. So as with all the fragrances I'm going to be talking about today, this is not a super sweet vanilla. This is not a cupcakey vanilla. This smells like a very pure, rich, luxurious vanilla. This also has a little bit of smokiness to it, like there could be some incense in this fragrance. And it also smells like there could be some boozy notes in this fragrance. I don't remember the notes right offhand, but all of this is just done in a very refined way. So don't be scared if you don't like incense, if you don't like boozy scents. When I say it has touches of those things, to me it is touches. This is so well done, it's so well made that I don't think it goes extreme in any direction. And the vanilla is just unmatched, it's gorgeous. So when I think about this fragrance, I think that it's perfect for like so many occasions. I would wear this on a date. I wear this to sleep at night. You could definitely wear this during the day, especially if it's cold, but it's not so heavy that I feel like you couldn't wear it when it's hot either. So I think that if you're looking just to get like one good vanilla fragrance and you're not about trying out all these different ones, this would be a good option, y'all. It really would be. I know this is expensive, but maybe try to get your nose on this. If you're on the hunt for a vanilla fragrance and you just have not found one that fits the bill yet, definitely try this one out if you can, because it may work out tremendously for you. So again, that's Spiritueux Double Vanille by Guerlain. This next fragrance is from Annick Goutal, and this is Nuit et Confidences. So this fragrance is actually quite similar to Spiritueux Double Vanille. And I think that if you're not ever gonna spend the money on the Guerlain fragrance, this would definitely be a good option. So again, it's a very luxurious smelling vanilla. It has some incensey touches to it, some boozy touches to it, but it's never too much. I will say that when I compare it to SDV, the Guerlain fragrance, I think this one opens a little bit more aromatic. It's a little lighter, a little less dark than the Guerlain. So they're not exactly the same, but honestly, they are quite similar. So I would recommend this one because you can get this for a much lesser price point than the Guerlain fragrance. Now, I know in the US, this is not as easily found as it used to be. They used to sell this at Neiman Marcus, which is where I got it from a couple years ago. But now I think I'm only able to find it on the gray market. So if I can find it for you all, I will definitely link it. I love this fragrance. I still use it even though I have Spiritueux Double Vanille now, and I think it's just a very special fragrance. And the bottle is super cute, y'all. I have the small one. I've been toying with the idea of buying a backup of this fragrance, but I'm not a backup person, so I don't want to start becoming a backup person because I have enough fragrances. So I haven't done it, but Yeah, this one, I just feel like you can't go wrong. So again, that is Nuit et Confidences by Annick Goutal. The next fragrance is probably the spiciest vanilla that I have on this list, and this is Ivory Root by Xerjoff. So this fragrance is part of the JTC, or Join the Club collection from Xerjoff, which means that the actual notes for this fragrance are not released. Xerjoff has not said what's in this. I will list the notes from Fragrantica, but they're really just guessing, y'all. They're really just guessing. They don't know for sure. So take them with a grain of salt. But to me, this fragrance is quite spicy. When I first spray this, I get like nothing but spice. However, the longer I wear this, the vanilla really starts to come in. And again, it's a very luxurious vanilla. This is not a sweet cupcakey vanilla. And this one just forms like a cloud of fragrance around you all day. So if I had to guess some of the spices, I would think maybe like black pepper, basil, possibly even like thyme. Those type of like green, I call them like Italian spices. That's what it smells like to me. But once that vanilla just comes in, everything just becomes so well-rounded. This is one you definitely have to spray on your skin. When I first got this, I was like, what? This doesn't smell like what I expected, but that was me spraying on paper. The first time I wore this, immediate love for me. It is so good. The vanilla is just so well done, and everything just smells so luxurious. You smell like money when you're wearing this fragrance, but in a very, very good way. So again, that is Xerjoff Ivory Roots. I forgot to mention it earlier, but all of these vanillas are perfect for cool to cold weather. Some of them can also be warm when it's hot, but these are ones that I prefer in colder weather. So back to the fragrances. The next one that I have is from Initio, and this is Absolute Aphrodisiac. Now, I feel like I have talked about this a lot lately, but honestly, I've been loving it. So I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it, but I felt like it needed to be in this video. This is my sexy vanilla fragrance. So the vanilla in this is very warm. It's not extremely sweet, but there is definitely some sweetness to it. It also smells like there could be some sort of almond type note in it. In a way, it kind of gives me that fizzy nature like what you get in Hypnotic Poison from Dior. However, this is not Hypnotic Poison. This is not just like a more expensive version of that, not at all. But it does kind of put me in the same mindset as Hypnotic Poison, but way more vanilla and way more luxurious, like high class vanilla. There is also an animalic note in this fragrance, and I think that's what gives it this sexy, like carnal type quality to it. It's really hard to explain, but once you spray it on your skin, I mean, this is one that I just can't get enough of. I could not get enough of. Every time I wear this, I feel like I just want to do this all day. I love it. I love it. So I typically wear this at nighttime because I think it's quite a sexy scent, and it's called Absolute Aphrodisiac for a reason, y'all. So definitely get your nose on this one. Even if you think you don't like vanillas, you need to try this one on your skin and report back, okay? So again, that is Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio. This next fragrance is probably the sweetest one on this list, but I still think it falls into that grown-up vanilla category. So this is Dior Vanilla Diorama. This is from the Dior Privé line, and I love this. So to me, this smells like an orange vanilla. So you have some citrus notes in this fragrance. To me, the most prominent one of those is the orange. Then the vanilla is a little bit spicy, a little bit smoky, a little bit powdery as well. But when you combine that with that sweet orange, it just works, y'all. I know this fragrance is not for everybody. Some people just can't stand the way it smells, but I definitely think this is one you should get your nose on. It is a unisex fragrance, and I do know some men, not personally, just men on the internet that wear this fragrance and love it as well. You have to get your nose on this. You definitely have to try it. And although this is probably the sweetest fragrance on this list, it's not too heavy of a fragrance. So I don't think that it becomes cloying very easily. This is one that I can actually wear year round. I do prefer it for colder or cooler weather, but honestly, when I first got this fragrance, it was, I think, either August or September, and here in Florida, it's still upper 80s at that time of year. So I was wearing it then when I first got it with no issues. So again, that is a Vanilla Diorama from Dior. This next fragrance is a very popular one, but it's one that I actually don't talk about that much. So I definitely wanted to include it in this video because I really love it. This is Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. So this one is for people that love tobacco as well as vanilla. you have to be a tobacco at least liker to like this fragrance. So don't think about getting this fragrance if you don't like the smell of tobacco. However, if you're unsure about the smell of tobacco, I do think this is a nice one to try because I think it's quite smooth. It isn't too much. So of course, the clue is in the name, tobacco and vanilla. And to me, the tobacco and vanilla kind of are head and head. At the very beginning, the tobacco is definitely more prominent, and it is a sweeter tobacco, but not sickeningly sweet, but it is kind of sweet for a tobacco note. But then by the time this fragrance dries down, the vanilla and tobacco kind of are side by side as far as how prominent they are. And the vanilla that's in this, again, is not too sweet. It's more of a dry, almost like dusty. I don't want to say dusty because that sounds bad, but it definitely smells like a drier vanilla. But it's so good, y'all. This is so good. There are also some spices in this fragrance. I think maybe clove could possibly be a note in this fragrance. At least it smells like it to me. And overall, it kind of gives me Christmas vibes because of those spices mixed with that tobacco and the vanilla. It's just so good. So good. It's so good. So definitely try this. I know a lot of women wear this, but I also know a lot of men wear this as well. So I think it's perfectly unisex. I have heard some women say this is too masculine for them, but honestly, if you're a woman watching this and you like tobacco, try this on your skin because, you know, we all have different opinions as to what's masculine, what's feminine, whatnot. You wear what you like, but for me, I think I smell amazing when I wear this. So again, that's Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. Speaking of Tom Ford, I have another one, and this is Vanille Fatale. So this one, people say this is like a little sister of Tobacco Vanille, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I can kind of see where they're going because Vanille Fatale is kind of similar smelling to Tobacco Vanille, but this one is definitely more vanilla, sweeter. It's still not extremely sweet, but it's definitely sweeter than Tobacco Vanille. This one can sometimes give me a bit of Play-Doh vibes. But in the best way possible, again, this one does have some spices to it as well, and it kind of has a fizzy nature to it as well, almost like it could have a little bit of almond in there. But overall, it's just a very beautiful vanilla. I find this one kind of hard to describe because every time I smell it, I feel like I pick up something different in it. This one is not too heavy and it's not too dense. So I actually wear this one year round at night. During the daytime, I do reserve this for colder weather, but it's amazing. So if you can get your nose on this one, again, this is one you need to try on your skin. Don't just smell it on paper, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So again, that is Tom Ford Vanille Fatale. Next up is one of the more challenging fragrances on this list, and this is again from Guerlain. This is Angelique Noir. Now, I do have a video comparing this and Spiritueuse Double Vanille that I will link for you guys if you're interested, but overall, this is quite a green vanilla. So this has Angelica in it. I have never smelled actual Angelica, but if I could try to describe it for you all, to me, when I smell this fragrance, the greenness that is in this smells like I just went outside in my yard and stuck my nose in the middle of the greenest plant I could find. That's what it smells like to me initially. As this fragrance wears, the vanilla does come out, and I will say it comes out a lot quicker on the skin than it does on paper. So as this fragrance wears, the vanilla comes out and it's just so rich. And when I say rich, I don't mean like sweet rich. I mean like there's this depth to it. There's this luxurious feeling to it. It is a little bit sweet, but it never gets like super sweet. It's not cupcakey at all. It is just so smooth and well-rounded, and the way that it mixes with the Angelica is just, it's just something special. It is something special. I think green vanillas can be a little bit daunting to people, and I could see how if I smelled this at a counter, I probably wouldn't have purchased this, but because I purchased it blindly, I gave it a chance and sprayed it on my skin, and absolute love after that very first wear, or like probably 5 minutes after I sprayed it the very first time. But yeah, I love this. Again, it's not gonna be for everyone, but it's definitely a grown-up, mature, rich smelling scent. So again, that is Angelique Noir from Guerlain. This next fragrance is another green vanilla, and this is actually one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. This is none other than Nichane Ani. Now this one gets a lot of love here on the internet. However, I don't think I've ever smelled this on anyone in real life. So if you're concerned about getting this one and smelling like everybody else, don't be, okay? This is good. People talk about it for a reason. I definitely don't think this is overhyped. This one opens with a blast of like citrus and a little bit of greenness and this beautiful ginger. That's what you get a lot of as soon as you spray this. However, as the fragrance settles, this beautiful sweet vanilla comes into play. Now this one is a sweet vanilla, but it's not super sweet. So it doesn't smell like food. It smells like just a very thick, dense, sweet vanilla. I don't know if that's a good description, but the vanilla is just amazing in this fragrance, and I think that's what really pulls this fragrance together, because once that vanilla comes in, it really starts to round this fragrance out. So you still always have that greenness to this fragrance, but it's not a lot. You also always have that citrus aspect to the fragrance, but again, once the vanilla comes in, it kind of, I don't want to say it drowns it out, but it definitely mellows that citrus aspect out. And then those citruses just give the vanilla a brightness. Also, the ginger in this to me never goes away. I love ginger, so I love that. But I think if you're not a fan of ginger, you may not like this fragrance. I don't think it's overpowering, especially in the dry down, but you definitely get that zing of ginger immediately, and the ginger note kind of lasts the entire time for me. So this one is beautiful. It wears really nicely. I get this beautiful cloud of fragrance every time I wear this one. So I really wear this one for me, but it does project well as well. So again, that is Nichane Ani. The next fragrance that I have is from Serge Lutens, and this is Un Bois Vanille. So this one is a pretty cozy vanilla. I love this one. This one has this beautiful cloud-like vanilla, but then it's also combined with like a coconut note and some woody notes. And the coconut that is in this fragrance does not make this smell like a tropical fragrance, but it provides this creaminess, it provides this unique factor, and the woods in this really just ground the fragrance. I wouldn't call this a woody fragrance, but you can definitely detect woods in this fragrance. This one gives me very cozy vibes, so I like to wear this one at night. I don't typically wear this one out on date night or anything like that, but I like to wear it at home at night. And I also like to wear this during the day when it's cold. This is like the perfect like sweater weather vanilla fragrance. It's gorgeous. And I feel like a lot of sweater weather vanilla fragrances that give you that cozy feeling, they're also very gourmand, but I don't think that's the case with this particular fragrance. So if you're looking for like a cozy, sweet-ish fragrance that doesn't go too sweet, it doesn't have caramel and popcorn and chocolate and all this other stuff in it, but it still smells really good and still smells quite cozy, I definitely think this is one you should try. And the price is quite reasonable. Actually, this is not really, now that I think about it, this is not easily available in the United States anymore. So sorry about that, but I feel like it's still kind of easy to find. So I will try to find a bottle for you and link it if I can, but if you can get your nose on this, definitely do it, because it's just so good. So good. So again, that is Un Bois Vanille from Serge Lutens. This next fragrance is from Amouage, and this is Material. Now, I know Amouage is known as a brand that has all these kind of weird fragrances, complex fragrances, but this one I think is actually quite likable. So I would say that even if you don't think you're an Amouage fan, this may be one you want to get your nose on. So again, vanilla is the most prominent note in this fragrance, but this one is combined with, I think, frankincense. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's frankincense that gives it kind of this old world royalty smell. It is so good, y'all. It's a little bit spicy as well. I'm not sure what spices are in this fragrance, but overall this kind of comes off to me as an incensey vanilla, but the vanilla in this is still kind of a cozy vanilla. It's done really well. I find this one a little bit hard to explain, but I would say that if you are in an area that carries Amouage in store, definitely spray this on your skin. This is one that I think smells completely different on paper than it does on the body. And I'm talking about like just as soon as you spray it, it's completely different paper to body. So definitely try this one on your skin. But I think this is a quite wearable Amouage. I mean, I'm a fan of Amouage, but I do understand that a lot of their scents are kind of like all over the place and it's not for everybody. This one I think smells niche and it smells high quality, but it leans more towards that mainstream side. So again, that is Amouage Material. So these next two fragrances are kind of honorable mentions because of certain things that we'll get into, but I still felt like they deserved a spot in this video. So first up is Kayali Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. And the reason this one's an honorable mention is I just did a whole video talking all about this. So I really don't want to talk about it again. Check out my video. This is all over the internet right now, so I really don't even feel like I need to talk about it. But if you want to know about it, check out my video that I just posted. I will link it for you all, but it definitely is a grown-up vanilla scent. And the other honorable mention is Diptyque Eau Dwell. Now, the reason that this one is an honorable mention is because this is not really something I think of as a cold weather scent like all the rest of the vanillas I share with you all. This is a quite aromatic vanilla. It's a little bit dry. It's not sweet. When you smell this fragrance, I feel like it smells quite natural. This one kind of gives me like cool girl vibes. So I feel like if you're the type of person who likes those type of scents, this will be a great year-round vanilla. I don't see any season that this wouldn't work in. Now, I typically wear it during the summer, but I don't know why, I just do. But I could definitely see somebody wearing this year-round. And I think this is probably like one of the ultimate vanillas for people that think they don't like vanilla. Now, that doesn't mean you're gonna like this fragrance because I really don't think that this is like the most likable scent. Honestly, I love it, but I don't think it's the most likable scent. But if you're a person who loves fragrance and you just do not like vanilla, definitely get your nose on this because you may find a vanilla that you finally like. I still think the vanilla is like the star player in this fragrance, but it's just not a sweet vanilla at all. It smells very natural and just green and aromatic, and it's very well done. It's just not for everybody, and it's an honorable mention because I kind of think of it as more of a summer vanilla, but I think for most people, they will probably wear this year round, especially if you're like a signature scent type of person. So again, that is Diptyque Eau Dwell, and mine is the Eau de Toilette. So those were the grown-up vanillas that I wanted to share with you all. If you are a person who thinks you don't like vanilla, let us know that in the comments below. We're not gonna attack you, don't worry. It's all love here. This is a safe space. But let us know that in the comments below. And maybe if you check out one of these vanillas, let me know what you think of it in the comments below as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more videos. I upload videos 3 times a week, so I have plenty of content that you can peruse in your free time. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me over there. I typically like to chit chat with you guys in my DMs, and I'm always on my Instagram stories, so definitely check me out on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.